I don't need no one to save me. I was born to be the greatest. All that time in that basement, all that time isn't wasted. Rapping getting faded. I just wanna tell my mom that I made it. Just wanna be the topic of the conversation. Used to rock the gold plated. Now I'm wearing gold chains like I'm famous.
What's going on? What's going on? Happy Saturday. Hope y'all are enjoying it. It's your boy Kings and Dreams with a special Saturday night interview with one of the pioneers in this YouTube space where men can congregate and have these conversations, help build each other up, uplift each other, hold each other accountable. Whether we're talking about finance, whether we're talking about the mental aspect, the physical aspect, the dating aspect, all of these aspects, right, that help not only just men, but Black men in particular to continue to evolve. And I'm going to get right into it. Without further ado, I definitely want to bring my guest on. To me, I think that if you don't know him, you need to know him. My man, Obsidian Ali. How we doing, brother?
Yeah, it's Mumia Obsidian Ali.
Mumia Obsidian
Yeah,
Ali.
he kind of mangled my name up, but it's okay, man. It's all good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for coming on this show. I really appreciate it, brother.
Oh no, man, the pleasure is all mine, man. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. So the first thing is, so for people who may not know who you are, why don't you kind of give like your 30-second elevator speech, so if you will.
Yeah, my name is Mumia Obsidian Ali. I'm one of the founding fathers of the Black Manosphere, a hero to some and a villain to others. I'm a published author, best-selling author, podcaster. Some would say thought leader, and others would say digital terrorist, if you want to believe that one. So, I'm many things to many different people. So there you go.
Understood. Okay, so one of the things that you mentioned the manosphere. So let's talk about that. What is the manosphere? What does that mean to you?
The manosphere is just a sector of the internet that got its start years ago. It's a sector of the internet that concerns itself with men's issues. That's pretty much all it is. The Black Manosphere is very direct. It's about Black men's issues. It's a sector of the internet that's about Black men's issues. So it got started. At least it got started for me back in 2009. I started writing and blogging for various outlets online. So, A Voice for Men, The Spearhead, Imala Fidi, Just for Guys, The Good Men Project, Return of Kings, and then eventually the Negro Manosphere website. Shout out to my brother in arms, O'Shea Duke Jackson. After I've been writing for a while, I decided to try my hand at podcasting. So that would have been in June of 2015. And so I gave that a shot. And I never looked back. And 2021, I published my first book, The Book of Obsidian, a manual for the 21st century Black American gentleman. I followed it up in the next year, 2022, with The Book of Obsidian, the Ladies Edition. And I just finished my third book, which is about self-defense for Black men. And I'm putting the finishing touches on a book about modern Black feminism right now as we speak. That should be done within about another month and a half. So I just sent off for the concept cover art for the book cover. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So just to kind of circle back, because you said a lot there. So the manosphere, what does that term, the manosphere, mean? And did you come up with that term, the Black Manosphere, rather? Excuse me.
No, I didn't come up with the term Black Manosphere. Actually, that would have been the Angry Man. Actually, came up with the phrase.
Okay.
Another brother in arms of mine, one of we're considered like the three kings of the Black Manosphere. Um, and he came up with he coined the phrase, but I really like I like it, and so it kind of stuck. It's simple and sweet, and it's very descriptive. In no way is it meant to take a dig at our brothers from other mothers. I got my start in the white manosphere,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had nothing but good relationships with my brothers from other mothers over there. But I had felt that it was important for black men to kind of do their own thing. Um, our concerns are similar. They're similar points of convergence with our brothers from other mothers, but there are other things that are somewhat unique. The issues that we face, particularly, but not solely limited to, regarding black women, are unique, and it's something that black men need to deal with on their own. So that's what it means to me.
Okay, and I agree because like when I see manosphere content, whether someone like yourself who's black, or I may see guys who I used to watch when I first started watching manosphere content, Rolo Tomasi and others, right? And so the issues sounded very similar, especially when it came to more or less like the dating aspect, and of course financials and things of that sort. So I was just curious as to like, was there a separatism, or just kind of going back into what you said, like there's issues with black men and black women, so we need to kind of branch off and handle it that way. Is that just the case?
So, yeah, you can make a case for that. Yeah. Um, I think the thing that really kind of bothers a lot of people, and mostly, a certain type of black women, is that black men now have a voice, and I think that's very bothersome to some black women. Black men have a voice. And I want to make this clear. I am not talking about all black women. I'm talking
Right.
about actually a small group. They're very small. They're not a plurality of people. They're small, but they do have a degree of influence. And at this particular moment, they have a degree of influence regarding the levers of power in American society. So academia, law, to a certain degree, politics, to a certain degree, social media. But I think what's happening is that power is starting to unravel,
Mm.
and we're seeing that play itself out right now. People are getting tired of the woke. They're getting tired of the woke stuff. So, and DEI, big tech, they're getting tired of it, and as well as in politics, they're just getting tired of the bull crap. So they're starting to push back, as Americans often do, and we're not taking it anymore. So that's the reason why I'm over on Rumble these days, and
Yes.
that is that along with Truth Social, Locals, and other platforms, Odyssey, and so on and so forth. These are all examples. Elon Musk buying Twitter, turning it into X. These are all examples of the pushback
Right.
against um, all of this, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I definitely tend to agree. One of the things that you touched on, like when it comes to politics and things of that sort, to a certain degree, I think that there is an agenda of where people are, especially men in general, right? Like we're just saying, okay, like we understand certain agendas, but you're trying to force feed us these agendas,
Yeah,
and we're just tired of it.
right.
You making the move to Rumble, X and that. And I listened to your interview on my big brother, my mentor Andre Love Crossing Borders.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things that you had mentioned, I did not know that Rumble was actually created by a Canadian.
That's
Because
right.
yeah, and because usually when you hear like my experience with Canadians, they tend to be very liberal, right? So the fact that you can go to Rumble and say whatever it is that you want and have no fear of being canceled, right? You have so many like content creators Most recently, Fresh and Fit, they had their channel demonetized on YouTube, right? And people work hard and they want to say what they want to say, regardless of whether we agree with them or not. But we don't want our narrative to, to be knocked down like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it is ironic that Rumble would be founded by a Canadian out of Toronto, Chris
Right.
Pavlovski. Got his start at an American company, Microsoft, a little over 20 years ago. And 2013, he founded Rumble because he was tired of the crap. And Canada, you're right. Canada has been, widely regarded as a very liberal society.
Right.
But another famous Canadian, much more famous than Chris Pavlovski, Dr. Jordan Peterson,
Yes.
kind of came into stardom, I guess you could say, because of his standing up against all the wokeness. And he's going through it right now. They're trying to take away his license to practice psychology.
Really?
So yeah,
Wow.
and yeah, I want to say he taught at the University of Toronto. I want to say that. Don't hold me to that. But he had retired, and amid some controversy with that, and they're trying to take away his license to practice. So yeah, there's a big ideological fight of which I am only a part of. It's a lot bigger than me.
Mhm.
And that's what I want the Black Manosphere, which I consider all of you to be a part of, to understand that there is a concerted effort to silence us. It's not new. I've been here before. This happened in 2016. I didn't have Rumble then. I just kind of had, YouTube was only the best game in town. Now I'm like, no disrespect to anybody on YouTube, but I don't need it anymore.
Right.
And if anything, my thinking is this, that in the 2023, I made the top 100 top 100 YouTubers on Playboard 8 times. I don't need
Wow.
YouTube. YouTube needs me.
Mm.
So
Talk
and there are a lot of YouTubers that are much bigger than me leaving YouTube because of what we're talking about right now. So yeah, it's a lot bigger than me. That's the big story is not about me. It's about the themes of freedom of speech, freedom of expression, wokeism, DEIism, modern black feminism, kind of pretty much, jacking Black America up. I mean, there's so many different layers to this that it's much bigger than me. And I want brothers in the Black Manosphere to keep that in mind. They're trying to take your voice away. Don't let that happen.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I do love the fact that there are so many different platforms. You mentioned Twitter or X, Rumble, and I'm sure that there's going to be more platforms that are popping up. But I like the fact that we're not just pigeonholed and we have to acquiesce to these demands. We actually do have a voice, and that's one of the reasons why when I first started watching the Manosphere, and I said, "Wow, like." You have yourself, O'Shea Duke Jackson, Kevin Samuels, may he rest in peace. You have
Yes,
other brothers, like who were actually saying the things that men like myself, who we were actually thinking. And okay, we have a platform to actually say that, because I can tell you, most men who are watching now, or most men in the room, they know typically when they get around a woman, they can't really say exactly what they think.
Yeah.
Without getting some sort of pushback.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about that is that I was saying this over on Clubhouse because I've been hanging there now for a little over a year.
Mm.
And what I say to a lot of those ladies, because it's very upsetting to them to kind of hear the things that guys like me and some intrepid others say. And what I tell them is that they have no idea how much black men kind of change themselves around them. and the big difference with the Black Manosphere and its spread, its virality across social media is that it is it's a raw feed into what black men really think, and that's very jarring to a lot of black women. It's a very jarring experience. So that's and it's not going back. Just like, black men, for that matter, men in general. Um, we're not going to go back to, the 50s. They're going to have to make adjustments with women in our time now. Well, I say it's the other way around. Women are going to have to make adjustments. Black men now have their own voice too, and they're going to have to get used to it, and they will. And I'm here to help. The thing that I love about being over on Rumble, people say, well, you being banned from YouTube is kind of like the end of the Black Manosphere. I said, no. It's the end of the beginning. The move to Rumble represents a new frontier, a new front on all of it. That's what it represents, a whole new front. And it represents an expansion of the Black Manosphere, and I think it's fantastic.
Absolutely, I agree. Now, with the Manosphere, you mentioned the late great Kevin Samuels, and actually, how I found out about you was when he did the endorsement of the Book of Obsidian, and then that's when I really started to really watch your content and things of that sort. And then you mentioned also O'Shea, Duke Jackson, and Angry Man. So, two-part question: would you say that the four of you are kind of like the four gatekeepers of, if you will, of the Black Manosphere? And then also, how did the four of you all come together? Can you break that down?
Well, it was me, Angry Man, and O'Shea Duke Jackson for sure. And
Okay.
We didn't know each other prior to the formation of what will become the Black Manosphere. We all kind of, found each other online. But we all, realized that we had a common purpose. So we all just kind of linked up, and the rest, as they say, is history. So that's how that kind of, happened. But yeah, I'm glad that it did. We've all kind of gone off in our own directions. They're still on YouTube, and I think that there should always remain a presence on YouTube for the Black Manosphere. But I'm glad to be heading up the expansion in the new areas. And people that want to follow me over on Rumble, just look for my name, man. Mumia Obsidian Ali on Rumble. Love to have you. We're going to be going live Monday. We got new updates with the Fonnie Willis situation. She, said on the stand that she's strong, independent, don't need no man. That's modern black feminism in action. We're going to be talking about this new evidence that appears to be that she and her lover, Special Prosecutor Nathan Wade, lied to the court. And we're going to be talking about that. So,
absolutely, I will definitely be tuned in for that. If you can see at the bottom of your screen, I'll make sure that you do tune in to Mumia Obsidian Ali's Rumble channel. I see that your channel is really, really growing. I looked when I first, about 3 weeks ago, I had looked, and you've made a significant jump. So when you talk about a new platform where things are going to be spreading like wildfire, like I already see it coming already.
right.
I already see it coming already.
Yeah. And so, we're going to build that up. Like I said, like you said, rather, it's a anti, cancellation place. This new wave of social media is going to be, bananas. And black people, we're not typically early adopters, but I think this is going to switch around this time. So I'm looking forward to it.
Very, very true. Not early adopters. So I want to talk about something that us as black men have started to really, really adapt to. And I want to just go back to Kevin Samuels one more time, right? When Kevin Samuels passed away, in came the influx of the Passport Bro movement. it was a movement prior, when Kevin was still alive. But it to me, I think it really erupted when we saw, and I'll just be frank, when we saw a lot of our sisters really basically, tap dancing on our brother's grave and really just saying some really outlandish things about him. And I think a lot of brothers really, really got upset and said, okay, you know what? Kevin was kind of being the anchor, maybe saying that we could try to work things out. And guys just said, you know what? No, I'm out. I'm getting my passport. I'm done.
Right.
Now, how do you think that? How do you think that with his death and the explosion of the Passport Bros? What are your thoughts about everything, the good, bad, or indifferent? What are your thoughts about it?
I think that Kevin Samuels is passing, and the reaction of Black women to it. Mm-hmm. I think was in many ways the last straw. Yeah. It was kind of final nail in the coffin. If you will kindly recall, 2 years earlier, the passing of Kobe Bryant did something very similar. And it was very jarring to a lot of Black men to see that, to see so many Black women kind of, it was a foreshadowing of what would happen to Kevin. Dancing on his grave by Black women. All right. So there was that. But when it happened with Kevin, it was kind of like the last straw for a lot of Black men. It really was like, this is it. I'm done. I've had it.
Right.
And what's interesting was that in the fall of, I want to say 2021, if I remember correctly, October 2021, Kevin actually made the case that it was time for brothers to put the passports in the sky and do what you need to do. So, we'll never know. Yeah, this goes into the metaphysical, the cosmic. We'll never know. But I saw it as a kind of foreshadowing of things to come. So,
yeah, no, that's very true. You mentioned Kobe Bryant. I remember Black women, even news outlets that they were talking about his case that happened years ago. Right. And I don't even know why they brought up that case, because I mean, his life has changed. The court case was over. He had his family, he had his wife. Why even bring that up? And you mentioned like sisters were talking about it, and it's like, like this man's grave is still warm, right? Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Right. And I vaguely remember Kevin. I remember Kevin saying on one of his live streams about men just traveling abroad. I remember him saying that, and I think it was around fall of 2021. And I realized that more and more brothers were just, really, really leaving. But I would say after his death, that was when everyone was just saying passport bros, passports up, and all of that stuff. So I definitely understand that. Yeah. So now my next question to you, I want to get into the woman in the manosphere. Now, do you think that women being in the manosphere, Black manosphere specifically, do you think it has done more harm than good?
Say that again.
Black women in the manosphere. Do you think that it has done more harm than good?
It's definitely been a net plus, and I'll tell you the reason why. Because it's you have to look at it from the perspective of tactics, strategy, politics. One of the big talking points against the manosphere in general, Black manosphere is included in that, is the idea that somehow these guys are losers with women. So you have to account for the fact that if we're such losers with women, why are there so many women in it? There are those who have an issue with some Black women making money in and around the Black manosphere. I say that they're dead wrong. I say that it's a good thing that the Black manosphere can generate income now, generate revenue, to the point where there are Black women who can build up an audience and make a nice living for themselves from it. That shows the economic viability and success and scalability of the Black manosphere. That's not a net positive. That's not a net negative. That's a net positive. That's a good thing. So now, the enemies of the Black manosphere, notably modern Black feminists, have taken to calling the women in and around the Black manosphere liars and pygmies and grifters, which tells me that they've run out of arguments. when you are reduced to calling people names, you've essentially conceded that you've run out of arguments. So every talking point against the Black Manosphere and the Manosphere writ large has been demonstrably disproven by the haters, the modern Black feminists. They don't have a leg to stand on anymore. And so I think that women being around in and around the Black Manosphere is a good thing. I also think that for there are certain men in and around the space who have an issue with women being in the space. And I point out to people, these are the kind of guys who tend to have an issue for a reason. They're not the guys who are successful. Those are the guys who are not successful. The guys who are successful don't have a problem with it. It's the guys who are not successful who do. So I always say to people, consider the source. If there's a guy that's banging on women being in the Black Manosphere, it's typically because he's not successful or as successful as he could be. And instead of working on that, he wants to, essentially scapegoat these ladies and try to attack any guy who comes to their offense. And it's a loser move. There's nothing alpha about it. There's everything beta and even worse about it, to tell you the truth. To use that nomenclature. So.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think so. Two reasons. I think that it's beneficial. One is because, like, if you have the women that are telling other women, hey, like, things need to change, and instead of hearing it from men, okay, you have someone in your own gender that's telling you things are messed up, right? that's one thing. And then another thing is that women in the manosphere, and there are some guys who may try to portray that they're a bit too alpha, right? And so those women could kind of maybe level them down a little bit, or at least those guys can see, okay, you know what? There are some insecurities in me that I need to check. So I would say for those two reasons.
Yeah. So yeah, I say it's a good thing that women are in the Black Manosphere. It's great, and it just goes to show that the other side has no arguments left. So
absolutely. Let me just get to the super sticker. Shout out to my man, the Art of Will, for the $4.99 super sticker.
My man, Art of Will, what's going on, brother? You need to follow me over on Rumble, Art. You need to follow me over on Rumble. Just look for my name. I'm over on Rumble, going live first thing Monday morning.
Yes, absolutely. I think I was on the panel when Art of Will was on your show. I think I was there. I know I was there for a couple of them. But yeah, Art of Will, definitely a good brother, and I'm sure he's probably following you on Rumble already, man.
Yeah.
He doesn't miss too much, so definitely shout out to my man, Art of Will.
Yes, sir.
All definitely make sure that you do subscribe to Obsidian on Rumble. This is the link. The link has been put in the chat. Make sure that you do subscribe to his Rumble page. He will be going live Monday morning. Do you have a time yet or not yet?
Yeah, 10 a.m.
Oh, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you do check him out. All right, so my next question to you is, with the red pill, what is one big misconception that maybe the average viewer has of the red pill?
Because there has been no definitive work that has been written down and that plainly and clearly explains it, it leads to a lot of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that the single biggest thing is the idea that they got all these crazy ideas and nobody really tells us where they get it from. So that's the number one thing. So
I see. Okay. Yeah, I think that's true, right? Because I think that when people hear like the term red pill, they're like, okay, like it's either some form of like extreme, and not really realizing like, no, like most men who are aware are mature enough to know, like, okay, there's a level head way of thinking. I can be stern and firm, but that doesn't mean I'm just gonna hate all women and things like that, right? Like
Right.
how you talked about a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
where like the guy is just too alpha. You know what I mean? It's like, no, like you could calm down. You can have a nice balance to you, and still be in your masculine, and not and not have to just go over the top. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good what do you call it? Good statement that you just made right there. I
Yeah.
understand. All right. Now I want to move on. Okay. So the next thing I have for you is, let's talk about um travel. What places have you traveled to outside of the United States?
None. Matter of fact, my very first trip is
Okay, I'm
scheduled
excited.
to go to Colombia in the summer of this summer. So yeah, be a first, and I want to do that because there's going to be a really big Afro Latin festival going down. So in Colombia. So that's, and that's it's the big thing. Because right now there's a lot of talk about guys. Brothers getting killed overseas, and Colombia in particular, and.
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, statistically speaking, you have just as much a chance to get killed here in the
Right,
States that you do over in Colombia. Matter of fact, more of a chance here
right,
than over in Colombia. So,
right.
don't believe the hype.
Right. No, I completely agree. So me being one of the Columbia guys, right, and that happens in mainly is talked about in the city that I actually have a place in, Medellin, Colombia.
Yeah,
So like it's guys that are putting themselves in precarious positions. So it's not where like they're just out just hunting for you. No, you're putting yourselves in precarious positions. So that's what's happening.
yeah,
Now, transitioning into the Afro Colombian Festival, it's called the Petronio Alvarez, and that's going to be in August. So that's going to be a great concert for you to come out, festival
yeah,
to come out to. And so anyone that's listening now that's interested in going to this, it is free 99, and you have people that look like Obsidian, myself, black people in the chat. I mean, and they're Spanish speaking. They're very friendly, and you learn a lot of culture. A
yeah,
lot of people who have not traveled may not notice, and I'm not sure if you do notice. Maybe you do, but there is a place called Palenque in Colombia, which was the first territory in all of the Americas, free slaves,
Mm,
and it's Palenque, Colombia.
mm, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. There's a lot of things I have to bone up on. So it's going to be a very active year. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so I'm excited to hear that this is your first time traveling, because I'm actually going to be there. So we'll definitely link up, man. I'm excited for it.
Very good. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Okay, so now your thoughts on your thoughts on the Passport Bros Blue Book Gentlemen. What are your overall general thoughts?
I think it's a time that's come. What's interesting about the Passport Bros conversation,
Hmm.
and in some ways controversy, is that black women have been doing this for a very long time, and nobody seems to have a problem with it.
Right.
I've noticed that there's a problem with it when black men do it, and I think one of the big reasons why is economic. Um, and it really highlights just how much it's about the money. You know, and I think that that's something that I've long said that black love was transactional. And it's transactional because that's the way black women like it. And I've long said that the issue isn't that. The issue is that a lot of black women don't, a lot of black men don't want to accept it. They don't want to accept that it's transactional. And I think that the Passport Bros is an example of black men finally accepting it. And so now that more and more black men are accepting that, for many, not all, I want to make it clear, I'm not talking about all, but for many black women, it is a transactional thing, and they're going to do what they do. And I think the passport bros represent, at least in part, black men accepting that and just acting accordingly. Now all of the rules of the economic world come into play. Economies of scale, globalization, competition, lower price, higher quality, more options. Monopolies suck, and the black community has been a de facto monopoly. And the passport bros has disrupted that system, and we're starting to see the fallout from it. Globalization has finally hit black America again, even though black women have been doing this for a very long time, but they don't move the needle the same way that black men do. And I think everybody knows it. And I think it's time that we start openly saying it.
That I completely agree. One thing I would like to add on is the fact that our sisters don't like to compete, right? And this is the truth. Our sisters don't like to compete. I was watching Monique. She was on Club Shay Shay, and she talked about the bonnet thing, but she had talked about the bonnet thing like about a year or two ago. But she mentioned it again, where sisters are just not taking pride in their appearance going to the stores, right? So, you're coming to Colombia, and I can guarantee you this, Obsidian, you're not going to go to the festival is in Cali, Colombia. That's where Dre's at. But you're not going to go to Cali, or if you decide to go to Medellin, you decide to go to Bogota or any other city in Colombia, where you're going to see women just walking into the local grocery store with the bonnet on, or with the flannel pajamas. We all know about that, right? With the flip-flops and all that BS. No, they're actually going to take pride in their appearance. So you mentioned the economics, and then these women taking pride in how they look. So you have these things, and the thing is that these ladies, they don't want to work for it. They don't want to work. They don't want to compete for their man. In Colombia, Latin America, outside of the West, these women are competing for men because there's so many more of women than men. So they know if they want a man, they're going to have to compete for this man. So they upkeep themselves. They remain feminine. They keep themselves right.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I think that the passport bros is great. I think that it'll actually move the needle in a lot of odd ways. I think it will move the needle back home. I think it'll move the needle. We'll see if I'm right. I tend to be right, but we'll see. We'll see if I'm correct. I think it will move the needle. I think it will.
Okay. All right. Let me just get into the super chat. Shout out to Big Boss Real Talk. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He says, salute. Obsidian and Kings and Dreams. Elon Musk should buy YouTube, then we all will be lit. YouTube is now leftist and woke.
Anything is possible, brother. Anything is possible. People ask me all the time, Obsidian, do you think you're ever going to come back to YouTube? My answer to that is you can never say never.
Right.
There was a time when Trump was banned from Twitter, like you said. Elon Musk bought Twitter, and Trump is back. So anything is possible, man. Anything is possible. But for right now, I'm proud to be heading up the expansion over on Rumble. So that's where you can find me.
Absolutely. I think that somebody will buy. I think somebody will buy YouTube. And what's going to happen is, like, if you have more than enough people that are going to Rumble and all of these other platforms, and YouTube is starting to lose a significant amount of money, because let's just keep it real, right? Money talks, BS walks. So if YouTube is starting to lose money, and you have Obsidians and so many other people like that are going to all of these platforms, and YouTube saying, hey, we're losing money because these guys are not able to have a platform to say what they actually want to say, someone's going to buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's that. We'll see how goes down. We'll see what happens,
Okay.
and we'll take things from there. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Now, you have the Book of Obsidian, and then you came out with the version for the ladies. Um, now, what would you say for you is the best thing about you being an author?
Best thing about me being an author is that I literally get the last word. I mean, that's what I'm saying right now in the book on modern Black feminism. I told the lady in question, use that word loosely, the woman in question I'm kind of at odds with. I told her last year that I would literally get the last word, and I always like to make good on my promise. I'm a man of my word. So one of the great things I love about being an author is that I get to set the table for how things go, especially in this age where, especially for younger people, but just in general, fewer people are writing and reading, and more people are watching videos, and not even long, videos. They're watching shorter videos,
Right.
and so that really. Oh, see, I always see opportunities. People say, "Well, this is having that." I see opportunities, and what it tells me is it's a great opportunity for me to slide in and then kind of put my own spin on things. So I love being a scribe. Very few of us get a chance to do that. And by that I mean Black men. Very few of us get a chance to do that. I guess you could say I'm, the unofficial scribe of the Black Manosphere. I'm one of its founding fathers, and I think this is great. I think it's great to have this kind of. I think it's great to have this kind of take on things, and for me to be able to put my take on it. I think it's wonderful.
And so, what inspired you to start writing in general? Like, was this something that you knew that you were going to be an author, or like how did that come to you?
Almost by accident. I did not plan it. I did not plan to do that.
Okay.
What ended up happening was I attended a Derek Jackson event 5 years ago. It was him, Derek Jackson, Ace Metaphor, and Stefan Labassiere, and I'm sitting in the audience, and because I wanted to see what the whole hubbub was all about. So I'm sitting in the audience, and it was insane what I was seeing going on. And I said to myself, if these guys can do it meaning write books, I know I can do it because all those guys had books. And so, and I wasn't intending on writing a book about, aimed at Black women. I was talking about writing a book aimed at Black men. So that's what I did, and it wound up being a #1 bestseller. So it's all Derek Jackson's fault.
Oh man, okay, man, that's really good, man, and I really like your book as well, man.
Thank you.
I really like your book. Now, with the YouTuber, you did mention that 8 times last year. You said that you were what was the word? And pardon me if I'm getting this wrong, but you were like on 8 times one of the top YouTubers as far as with revenue.
Yeah. But Playboard, there's an outfit called Playboard. Playboard is like YouTube's version of Billboard.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So, and they have different categories for YouTubers. And so it's just like Billboard has different categories, R&B, country, and, Billboard Top 100 and so on and so forth.
Right.
And so they have a different various categories. And one of those categories is top, super chatted YouTubers. And I made the top 10 8 times last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And of those 8 times, 4 of those was in the top 50. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And that's no small feat. That's no small feat, man. And I can't say when I've been on your lives, where you drop that, where someone drops like $100, or I think it's $50 or more, and you do the, you do that sound bite, man. I've heard that a lot of
Well,
times.
which one?
The what's it called? It's like the Akbar, the one.
Oh, you mean this one?
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Yeah.
Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, I've heard that quite a few times. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see you being on that list. I think more than 8 times, man. I think if you look again, you're probably up there like 10 to 12.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was, and then my thing was, where do I go with this? I mean, do it 12 times in a year? I mean, I kind of felt like I did everything I could do with the platforms. Time to move on. I like new stuff, new challenges. So this is a new challenge for me. My thinking was, if I could do that on YouTube, what could I do on Rumble? So
that's true. That's true. And you've been on YouTube since 2015, you said, correct?
2015. And
Okay.
I was there until early 2014, so 9 years. Been a good run. Like I said, never say never.
Right.
There could very well be a Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy was one of the venture capitalists behind Rumble. So there could very well be a Elon Musk, a Vivek Ramaswamy type that buys YouTube, and I could be back. And anything's possible. But for now,
Right.
I'll just focus on that. So.
Right. Okay, so now what advice would you say for YouTubers, YouTubers that are trying to build their platform? What would you say would be like the 3 most important things?
For any black man that is outspoken and wants to be a voice for black men, get a Rumble. That's what I would say. Get a Rumble. Because if you don't get a Rumble, you're going to and YouTube doesn't change its ways. You're going to be vulnerable. You're always vulnerable. You have no idea how like elated I am to no longer be, like at the whim of YouTube or any modern black feminist who can just go and just game the system.
Right.
Because she can't win the argument, and she's a sore loser and a spoiler. I'm so glad. I'm just very, very glad that I'm not subject to that. So what I would say to any black male YouTuber that wants to do this, I would say get a Rumble and mirror it and have everything placed over there. And so just in case something goes down, you got a backup, and you can go over there. That would be my advice to you and any other black male YouTuber in and around the Black Manosphere. Get a Rumble. You do not want to be dependent on YouTube. You don't. That's what I would say.
Okay. And what are 2 other things? So get a Rumble. What are 2 other things?
That would be the number one thing.
Yep.
You definitely want to be able to You definitely want to be able to have your own. You want to be able to speak in your own voice.
Right.
And like I said, there's a concerted effort to try to silence black men. So you want to be able to be able to speak in your own voice. So that's the number one thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Let me get to this super chat. Shout out to Passport Gang. If you think Redpill and Passport Bros can change this current flock of American women, you're wrong. Western women have the spirit of Jezebel. Jezebel was defined until death.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty bad. Yeah. I would say it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, shout out to you, brother. Fearless Podcast. Are super chats the best way to make money on YouTube?
It is if you're looking to do live streaming. If there's numerous ways. I'm not going to say it's the only way or the best way, because like everything else in America, there's many ways to skin a cat. So if you're somebody that's interested in live streaming, then yes. And the reason why is because making money off of revenues from ads absolutely can be done. The trick is getting into the algorithm, and that's pretty tricky. YouTube is very tight-lipped about how to do it, and obviously the people who figured out how to do it are pretty tight-lipped. So there's that. So in order for you to make, YouTube pays a maximum of $18 per 1,000 views. Okay, $18 per 1,000 views. So you can do the math. That's maximum. That's the max. Rumble actually pays more. It's not much. $20 max per 1,000 views. But so you can do the math here. So you would have to be doing videos and cranking out, tens of thousands of views every single time. Now, is that possible? Yes. There are people who do it. O'Shea Duke Jackson he's like the General Motors of YouTube. I mean, the man cranks out 3, 4, 5 videos a day, and they're all, bringing in 50,000 or more, a pop. So, but he's rare. Most people on there are 450,000 full-time YouTubers in the United States. Okay, and like I said, I made the top 100 in super chats 8 times last year. So that just goes to show you the vast majority of people on YouTube, and I'm talking about the full-timers. I'm not talking about weekend warriors, or I'm talking about full-timers. They're not making money like that. They're just not. So I would say, if you're looking to make a serious amount of money, I would say super chat's the way to go. Live is the way to go. But you got to build up an audience. You got to be good. You got to. There's moving parts in it. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the only reason to go live. If you're not making money going live, you might as well just stick to just making videos. You do better off.
Okay. Yeah, no, good advice. Good advice. Speaking of Andre, shout out to Andre and Andre Love Crossing Borders. Shout out to Kings and Oman. Thank you so much, Dre, for being here. Really, really.
Yes, sir. What's going on, Andre? Looking forward to seeing you at the Conclave, man. Speaking of which, the Black Manosphere Conclave going down September 6th through the 8th. Looking forward to seeing you all there. www.black-manosphere.org. Early bird tickets on sale until April Fool's Day. So don't hesitate to get your tickets. Get your ticket for yourself and get another brother a ticket. The tickets are that cheap. You can afford to get both. So
hold on 1 minute. I'm sharing my screen. Hold on, because I actually had this up. Let me know if you can see my screen. Hold on.
Yeah, I see your screen now. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Yep. So this is going down September 6th to September 8th. Man, can I tell you? So when I heard you and Dre talk about Theo, Theo pops in my chat like pretty often, and I had no idea that he was actually one of like the main people behind this. I had no idea. I tell you,
Theo's he's like an unsung hero of the not only just the conclave itself, but the entire Black Manosphere. This man really went in and put his money in it.
Yeah.
He put a lot of money in to make this happen, and I love the guy. He's really stand-up guy. Really, low-key type of guy too. He's not a glory hound or anything like that. He just wants to do the work, man. And and here's the thing: we set out to get 300 brothers in tech in 5 years. We did it in 3. So, and we're expecting, because we sold more early bird tickets last month than we did the entire first quarter of last year. So we're expecting in excess of 300 brothers at the conclave this year. So
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And speaking of Dre, got brother Dre here.
Yes,
That's
sir.
actually going to
Andre,
be,
yes, sir.
yeah, he's gonna be in the Black Manosphere Conclave, man. So definitely, guys, if you guys are in the United States, or if you guys can come back to the States, at least for the conclave, I think that this one is going to be the best one yet. And I'm glad to see that this thing is growing, from progression to year 1, year 2, year 3, and I believe this is year 4. Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, year 4. That's correct.
Yeah,
2020.
so this is year 4. So I'm really really excited for this. So I mean I can't wait for this. So guys, if you are in the States, or if you could get back, just come out and support. Early tickets are on sale now, and the link is in the description. So definitely make sure that you guys check that out.
Yes, sir.
And it's
Looking
from
forward to it.
September 6th to September 8th, Houston, Texas.
Yep. Looking forward to it, man. It's going to be bananas. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Oh, Dre even gave a super chat. Hold on, but before this, oh, we saw this one already. Thank you so much. Shout out to Dre. I'm glad we're on Rumble and YouTube. He's correct. Just in case happened to us twice. Get your conclave tickets ASAP. Yes, I remember Dre. Dre's channel got demonetized twice. So, guys, I'm telling you, you definitely want to make sure that you have multiple platforms where you can put your content on. Rumble, you don't want to stick to one platform. I know sometimes you said it earlier, like Black people, we're creatures of habit, right? But we gotta expound, and we gotta expand for real. So thank you so much for that super chat, Dre.
Yeah. Looking forward to it, man.
Absolutely.
Listen, man, I want to thank you so much, man, for having me on. It's been great.
Yep.
I'm going to go and kick back, get ready for Monday. Don't forget, everybody, follow me over on Rumble. Just search for my name. You'll see me over there going live first thing 10 a.m. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man. I really, really appreciate it. And, and I will see you soon, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So shout out to Black Dragon. He says, bought my ticket, old man, to the conclave. Thank you so much. Please make sure that you do check out Obsidian on Rumble. Let me see if I have that link. I believe I have that link. Hold on. Yeah, definitely make sure that you guys check him out on Rumble, man. I really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Let me get to some of you in the chat if you guys had any comments. Let's see. Shout out to Philip in the building. Thank you so much. Culture Invasion, Tim Howard. Man, I see you guys, man. You guys were holding it down all night. Vlog Tripping. What's up? What's up, bro? Thank you so much. Fearless is in the building. I appreciate you, man. Go, Mr. O. Yep, absolutely, man. Great interview. I'm really, really glad for all of you guys who tuned in tonight. Special Saturday night interview. Alex, aka Frosty, salute to the brothers in the chat. Thank you so much. Ronin Travels, man, that my guy had to change up account. Salute. Oh, wait. Oh, there's two. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. You got two different accounts? Man, did I just shout out the same person twice? Razor Rays is in the building. Salute, King. Shout out to you, Razor Rays. I see you going to Amsterdam. Shout out to Razor Rays in Amsterdam, man. My man's going to have some cervezas out there. Be careful out there, man. Enjoy yourself. My man. What up? Let's see. XL Pro is in the building. Let's see. Passport Gang, disagree. Women don't need to be in the space. Okay, well, Passport Game, why do you say women don't need to be in this space? I would love to hear your thoughts about that. Life in Haiti with Marie. Hey, Kings and Dreams and everyone in the chat. How we doing, Miss Marie? Jamie Woods, shout out to Kings and Dreams. Shout out to my man Jamie. We gonna be touching the road in April, man. So we going somewhere. You know, we going somewhere. I'm not saying anything, but I'm gonna be moving around this spring a lot. He going to Cali in August. Yes, Cali. Yep. Afro-Colombian festival. Yeah, I'll be in town for that for sure. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. Yeah, we're gonna be deep in that, man. We're gonna be deep in there. 100 Kings and Dreams. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for pulling up. My man Garden Scientist is in the building. Let's see. Allah wa Akbar. Yes, yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. Shout out to Big Boss Real Talk. Definitely make sure you guys check out his channel. Let me see. Yeah, save the date. Black Manosphere Conclave Part 4. September 6th, Houston, Texas. Here's the link. Get your tickets below. Tickets are on sale. So first come, first serve, man. Get your tickets. Support. And also, guys, I just realized if you're unable to actually not physically be in the building, so for all of you expats, you guys, I'm not coming back to the States, but I'll support. You can actually watch it online. So there is a link where you can actually stream the conclave. So you can watch it online. So you can be in person or stream it online. So, don't miss it, guys. Don't miss it. Okay, guys. All right. So this is a short interview, but I definitely appreciate you all for tuning in. I will be back this upcoming Monday. So I know last week Monday I wasn't here, but had some things I had to take care of. But this Monday evening I will be back, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely make sure that you tune in. Also, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Kings and Dreams, KING, the letter Z, Dreams with a Z, and I'm out. Stay purposely purposeful. Peace.